The Rautes, they stay pretty far from the nearest airport and the nearest town, which was Surkhet. So I had to do a lot of motorcycle ride, and this is one among the very interesting clips I was able to get using my drone. They stayed in different types of places. In this village, a troop of macaques were very close by, and farmers were happy because they knew that the routes would hunt the macaques, and also the routes had the intention to barter their handicraft with the cereals. I even got the chance to hold the youngest member of the Raute community. Samjana, the lady sitting behind, had just given birth a couple of weeks ago to this really beautiful daughter. So, yeah, I was living with them, connecting with them to the level I could, watching them cook food, participate in their day to day activities. I loved playing with the kids, they were very friendly. They would always like tease me, but were always very, very welcoming. The core element of their life was movement. So this morning we were all ready to move to a new place. Everyone was seen busy carrying stuff from one place to the other. Women, kids, older people, younger people, all were equally participating. Dilbadur Dai and his wife were very friendly. They would take me with them for forest product collection. We went in the forest, collected medicine, fruits, and also the daily vegetables, and it was a very good learning opportunity for me. We would sit together and then help each other take care of the vegetable. That was the dinner for the night and for a few days to come, and it was a very nice conversation we engaged with each other. Finding macaques in Dailek was not easy for me. Sometimes it was random encounters like this, and sometimes I had to walk with routers and with farmers to actually go and find one. This incident was pretty unique that morning because I was just informed that there was a troop of macaque that was feeding by the side of the river. So I decided to go and then observe this troop. So as I was doing this, watching the macaques be aware of me and then aware of some vehicles passing by, something very interesting happened. I could hear the voice of one of my router friend. He was approaching towards me. He said, "Hey Dariwal, don't come close to our hunt place. Go back to the small motel that's by the side. It's okay if you go there and watch us hunt, but do not come this close. Our God will not be happy. So please go away," was his words. They didn't want me to record the actual hunting, so this is them coming back after the hunt. Apart from seeing them hunt, I was also following them when they were collecting food. So this couple were busy collecting vegetables for the night, and it was amazing because these food were not eaten by the villagers because they did not know that these were edible food items. So the whole diversity of the food Rautes eat on a daily basis was very amazing to learn. I had a similar experience when I decided to join Dilbadur Dai in one of his bartering. So this morning he was showing us what he had made, and we visited few villagers who would want to buy these containers, but we're also bargaining quite heavily with Dilbadur Dai, and Dilbadur Dai was using many funny languages to tell him how hard it is to make these containers, and the lady was also bargaining on her own way. We went to different villages. In the next village, he was showing the small stool, the same cozy container with one of the other villagers, and again the bargaining was going on. And as we were doing it, Dilbahadurji also wanted to visit the backyard garden of this farmer, and they did not know that all the foods that were Dilbahadur was collecting could be eaten. So they were also surprised that there is so much food everywhere around their house that they were actually not eating. And he returns back collecting a lot of stuff, and he's showing us like what different things he collected. And then he was making a joke that this won't be enough for a big family of mine because I have a big family, but this certainly will do something. So this afternoon I was talking with Birka. So he was telling me how in this place where they were currently residing, by the banks of Karnali River, how the number of macaques had gone down, and then it was almost like the macaques were moving towards the Lodungeswar area. So Raute were also kind of following that pattern, and then he was telling me that, hey, there is no macaques in this area, now we have to move to Tallodungeswar because it's much easier to hunt there. So moving to new places in search of better hunt and good quality forests was the day-to-day life of Rautes. And this afternoon, I talked with Suryanarayan. He is the head Mukhya of the Raute, and he told me how the forest that they were currently living, they were passing by, had very bad quality of trees and then other things that they need. And they were saying that this forest belongs to the management committee. This is a community forestry, so we don't find a lot of monkeys. We don't find a lot of stuff in this forest. And this interview with Dil Bahadur Dai was one of the best interviews I collected. So I was asking him what will happen if there is no macaques in the world. And to that he said, I don't want to stay in this world if macaques are not here. We want to live with the macaques. If they decide not to live in this world, then Routes also don't want to live in this world. There are a lot of external challenges that Routes face. The social security fund that comes every 3 months brings like good amount of money to their house. This is not well received by all the family members as people indulge into alcoholism, changing lifestyle, and eventually forgetting their traditional knowledge with the forests and macaques. And also, they struggle to cope up with the produce that the market mechanism brings because of the road and everything. So, the older generation, particularly, are struggling. But there is a ray of hope as well. Despite those challenges, younger generation like Naveen here is explaining to me how he's so much fun about going into the forest, going hunting, and then making handicrafts and being proud of what they do as Raute. And he does not want to submit to the external market mechanisms, and he wants to continue to be a Raute and see his life move on. So this gives a lot of hope.